Okay, moving on to question 2. On December 1st of last year, Elite paid in advance for 6 months advertising in the local newspaper. The necessary adjusting entry on January 31st includes which of the following? This is going to require us to think back a bit and use some algebra to try to calculate what we have to adjust at the end of January. Looking at prepaid advertising right now, I see that it's sitting at $1,800. So let's think about what must have happened in this company. On December 1st, they purchased prepaid advertising. And they purchased specifically 6 months worth. So whatever the price was for 1 month, let's call that X. Well, they bought 6 times that because they bought 6 months worth. And then on December 31st, what ended up happening was they reduced their prepaid advertising and it became $1,800. So they adjust at the end of every month. It's important to notice that because they told us that. So after adjustments, after reducing prepaid advertising by 1 month, they ended up with a balance of $1,800. So what they must have done is, well, they paid 6x, which is the total amount of money they paid, so 6 months at X, which is the monthly price. Then they subtracted out 1 month's worth, because that's how much they used up by the end of December, and they were left with $1,800. So if we actually solve for X, we can find out how much 1 month's worth of advertising is worth. So that leaves us with 5x equals 1,800. X is equal to 1,800 divided by 5, which gives us $360. That tells us that 1 month's worth of advertising is equal to $360. Well, let's think about what happened. 1,800 was the value after 1 month was used up in December, but now we're sitting at January 31st. So we need to reduce our prepaid advertising by another 1 month's amount, which is another $360. So that would tell us that prepaid advertising should go down by another $360, which brings us to $1,440. Now let's see which journal entry would help us accomplish this. They're telling us a credit to prepaid advertising of $360, a credit to prepaid advertising of $1,500, a debit to advertising expense for $300, a debit to prepaid advertising for $14,400. Now they're actually asking us how we would journalize this transaction. Well, if we want prepaid advertising to go down by $360, what we would do is we would say prepaid, actually we would debit advertising expense, because once we use up prepaid advertising, it goes to advertising expense. So we're increasing advertising expense and we're decreasing prepaid advertising by $360. So the way to reduce your prepaid advertising is by crediting $360, and that answer is answer A.